If I told you that the average person loses $65,000 to their car over a decade, would you believe me? Probably not, right? And that's exactly why I'm making this video. In the next 20 minutes, I'm going to show you the 5 stages of car depreciation that dealerships and salespeople will never explain to you. And once you understand this, you'll never look at buying a car the same way again. Look, I get it. You need a car for work, for your family, for your life. And when you're at the dealership, the salesperson shows you this beautiful vehicle, leather seats, Apple CarPlay, that new car smell. And they say, you can drive this home today for just $699 a month. That sounds manageable, right? But what they don't tell you is that the moment you drive that car off the lot, literally the moment those wheels hit the street, you just lost $9,500. Gone, vanished, like it never existed. That's not an exaggeration. That's not a scare tactic. That's just math. And I've spent the last 6 months diving deep into this, analyzing data from Kelley Blue Book, talking to dealership finance managers, examining depreciation curves from over 50,000 vehicle sales. And what I discovered is honestly shocking. So grab your phone, open your Notes app, and watch until the end, because stage 5 is where most people get absolutely destroyed financially, and almost nobody sees it coming. My name is Rehan, and I spend way too much time thinking about how cars silently drain wealth from everyday people. If you're someone who's ever wondered why you feel broke even though you make decent money, or you're trying to figure out why your net worth isn't growing even though you're doing everything right, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because this video might just explain everything. Before we dive into the 5 stages, I need you to understand something really important. Cars are probably the single biggest wealth killer for middle-class Americans. Not credit cards, not student loans, cars. And here's why. With credit card debt, you know you're in trouble. You see that balance going up, and it feels bad. You're aware of the problem. But with cars, the wealth destruction is invisible. It's hidden. It happens slowly over time while you're just driving to work, going to the grocery store, living your life. A study from AAA, the American Automobile Association, found that the average person spends $11,577 per year on their car. That's $965 a month. But get this, most people, when you ask them how much their car costs them, they'll say something like $450 a month for the payment. They forget about insurance, gas, maintenance, registration, tires, oil changes, and they completely forget about depreciation, which is insane because depreciation is usually the biggest expense. So let's fix that right now. Stage 1, the instant massacre. First 60 seconds of ownership. Okay, so you've just bought a brand new car. Let's say you bought a Honda Accord for $38,000. That's roughly what a new mid-trim Accord costs right now in 2025. Reasonable choice, right? Reliable, good gas mileage. Honda has a great reputation. You sign the papers, you get the keys, the salesperson shakes your hand, you sit in the driver's seat, and you drive off the lot. Congratulations, you just lost between 9 and 11% of that car's value in the first minute of ownership. According to data from Carfax and iSeeCars.com, new cars lose an average of 10% of their value the moment they become used. And you know when a car becomes used? The second it's not on the dealership lot anymore. So your $38,000 Honda Accord is now worth $34,200. You just lost $3,800 in 60 seconds. Now you might be thinking, okay, Rehan, but I'm not selling the car right now, so that doesn't matter. And that's exactly the psychological trap that keeps people poor. Here's what I mean. Imagine if you went to a store and you bought a TV for $1,000, but the moment you walked out of the store, someone stopped you and said, hey, I'll give you $900 for that TV right now. You'd be like, what? No, I just paid $1,000 for it. But that's exactly what happened with your car. You paid $38,000, but the market, the collective wisdom of every buyer and seller out there, has determined it's only worth $34,200. That $3,800 is just gone. It's not coming back. And this is just stage 1. Stage 2, the first year free fall, months 1 to 12. All right, so you've survived the first 60 seconds. You drive home, you park in your driveway, you show your family. Everyone's excited. Now let's fast forward through the first year. You're making your payments, $650, let's say. Over 12 months, you've paid $7,800 toward the car. Progress, right? You're building equity. Except, no. According to Kelley Blue Book and recent industry data, new cars lose 20 to 25% of their value in the first year. Let's be conservative and say 20%. Your $38,000 Honda Accord is now worth $30,400. You've lost $7,600 in 1 year. But remember, you've been making payments. You've paid $7,800 toward the car. Here's the thing though, you probably financed that car at 7.2% interest. That's about the average for a new car loan right now in 2025. So out of that $7,800 you paid, roughly $2,400 went to interest. So you only paid down about $5,400 of the principal. So your loan balance went from $38,000 to $32,600. But your car is worth $30,400. You're underwater by $2,200. And this is where it gets really interesting. Most people in this situation feel trapped. They think, well, I can't sell it now. I'd have to come up with $2,200 just to get rid of it. So they keep the car, and the depreciation continues. This is what I call the depreciation trap, and millions of people are stuck in it right now. Stage 3, the steady bleed, years 2 through 5. Okay, so you've survived the brutal first year. Things start to stabilize a bit, right? Sort of. From years 2 through 5, cars typically depreciate about 15 to 18% per year. Still significant, but not as catastrophic as that first year. Let's continue with our Honda Accord example. After year 1, worth $30,400. After year 2, worth $25,000, an 18% loss. After year 3, worth $20,600, a 17.5% loss. After year 4, worth $17,200, a 16.5% loss. After year 5, worth $14,500, a 15.7% loss. So over 5 years, your $38,000 car has lost $23,500 in value. That's $4,700 per year, $392 per month, just in depreciation. Now add your car payment, $650 a month, insurance $180 a month for a newer car, gas $220 a month, maintenance $120 a month. You're spending $1,562 per month on this car. Over 5 years, that's $93,720. And at the end of it, you own a car worth $14,500. You spent $93,720 to own something worth $14,500. Let me say that again. You spent $93,720 to own something worth $14,500. The difference, $79,220, just evaporated. It's the cost of transportation, sure, but most people have no idea it's this much. And here's what really gets me. If you had invested just the depreciation amount, that $392 per month, into an S&P 500 index fund over those same 5 years, assuming a 10% average annual return, you'd have about $30,200. Instead, you have a 5-year-old Honda Accord worth $14,500. Now look, I'm not saying don't have a car. For most people, a car is necessary. But what I am saying is that most people don't realize the true cost. And when you don't realize the cost, you can't make an informed decision. Stage 4, the zombie years, years 6 through 10. All right, so you've made it to year 6. Your car is paid off. Finally. And this is actually where smart people start to win, because the depreciation curve flattens out significantly. From years 6 through 10, cars typically lose about 10 to 13% per year, still losing value but much more slowly. Let's continue tracking our Honda Accord. After year 6, worth $12,400, a 14% loss, still higher as it transitions. After year 7, worth $10,900, a 12% loss. After year 8, worth $9,700, an 11% loss. After year 9, worth $8,700, a 10.3% loss. After year 10, worth $7,800, a 10.3% loss. So from years 6 to year 10, you lost $6,700 in depreciation. Compared that to years 1 through 5, where you lost $23,500. This is why keeping a car for 10 plus years is one of the smartest financial moves you can make. But here's where most people screw this up. They get to year 6 or 7, the car is paid off, and they think, you know what? I've been making $650 payments for 6 years. I deserve a new car. I've been responsible. And they go buy another new car, starting the cycle all over again. This is what I call the new car treadmill. And it's one of the main reasons people stay broke. Think about it. If you kept that paid off Honda Accord from years 6 to 10, you'd save the following. No car payment, $650 a month times 48 months equals $31,200. Lower insurance, older cars are cheaper to insure, $50 per month times 48 months equals $2,400. Total savings is $33,600. Plus, you only lost $6,700 in depreciation instead of losing $23,500 on a new car. That's a difference of $50,400 just by keeping your car a few extra years. But most people don't do this because the car culture in America tells us that driving a 7-year-old R means you're unsuccessful, which is insane. Some of the wealthiest people I know drive 10-year-old Camrys because they understand that wealth is built by controlling expenses, not by looking wealthy. Stage 5, the hidden destroyer, the upgrade cycle. Okay, this is the big one. This is where most people get absolutely destroyed financially, and they don't even realize it's happening. It's not any individual stage of depreciation, it's the cycle. Here's what I mean. Research shows that the average American owns between 6 to 10 cars in their lifetime, depending on various factors like location, income, and lifestyle. And the average person keeps each car for about 6 to 8 years. So let's do some math. If you're 25 years old and you follow this pattern until you're 75, you'll buy about 7 to 8 cars. Let's say 8 cars. And let's say each car costs $48,000. That's roughly the average new car price in 2025, accounting for inflation over time. Over your lifetime, you'll spend $384,000 on cars. But here's the thing. You're not just spending $384,000, you're also losing all the investment returns you could have earned on that money. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say instead of buying 8 new cars at $48,000 each, you bought 8 used cars at $18,000 each, roughly 3 years old versions. That's $144,000 total instead of $384,000. The difference is $240,000. Now, what if you invested that $240,000 over those 50 years? Assuming a 9% average annual return, that $240,000 becomes $3.2 million. You read that right, $3.2 million, just by choosing to buy slightly older, more depreciated cars instead of new ones. This is what I mean when I say cars are a wealth killer. It's not just the money you spend, it's the opportunity cost, the wealth you could have built if you'd made different choices. And look, I know some of you are thinking, but Rahan, I don't want to drive a crappy old car. I work hard, I deserve something nice. And I get it, I really do. But here's the thing. A 3-year-old Honda Accord is not a crappy old car. It's basically the same car as the new one, just 65% of the price. It has the same safety features, the same reliability, the same comfort. It just doesn't have that new car smell, which, by the way, is literally just chemicals off-gassing from the plastics. You're paying $15,000 extra to inhale VOCs. Now, before I give you the action steps, I need to address the psychology of why we make these decisions. Because the math is clear, right? You should buy used cars. You should keep them for 10 plus years. You should minimize depreciation. But most people don't do this. Why? 3 reasons. Reason number 1, status signaling. We've been conditioned to believe that the car you drive says something about your success, about who you are as a person. And car manufacturers spend billions of dollars reinforcing this message. Every car commercial shows successful, attractive people driving new cars, living their best lives. Nobody shows a millionaire driving a 2015 Camry, but I personally know several people worth $5 million plus who do exactly that, because they understand that real wealth is invisible. It's in your investment accounts, not in your driveway. Reason number 2, the payment focus. Dealerships have trained us to think in terms of monthly payments, not total cost. Can you afford $699 a month? And people think, yeah, I can swing $699 a month. But they're not thinking about the $48,000 cost, the $10,000 in interest, the $25,000 in depreciation. They're just thinking, can I make this payment each month? This is exactly what dealerships want, because when you think in terms of payments, they can extend the loan term, 72 months, 84 months, lower the monthly payment, and make you feel like you're getting a deal, when in reality, you're paying way more in total. Reason number 3, the upgrade itch. Humans adapt to nice things incredibly quickly. You buy a new car, and for the first month, it's amazing. You love it. You show it to all your friends. By month 6, it's just your car. You don't even notice it anymore. But then you see your neighbor pull up in a brand new model, and suddenly your car feels old, boring, insufficient. This is called hedonic adaptation, and it's one of the main reasons people stay on the upgrade treadmill. They're chasing that feeling of newness, but that feeling fades every single time. All right, so what do you actually do with this information? Here are 5 specific, actionable steps. Step 1, calculate your true car cost. Right now, I want you to pull out your phone and calculate how much you actually spend on your car per month. Car payment plus insurance plus gas plus maintenance plus registration. Write that number down. For most people in 2025, it's between $900 and $1,500 per month. That's $10,800 to $18,000 per year. Are you okay with that? Because that's what it's actually costing you. Step 2. Run the 3-year-old test. Before you buy your next new car, find the 3-year-old version of the exact same car. Look at the price difference. Ask yourself, is the new car smell and the warranty worth this price difference? Usually the answer is no. A 3-year-old car has already taken the biggest depreciation hit. You're buying it at the bottom of the curve, not at the top. Step 3, commit to the 10-year plan. When you buy your next car, commit right now to keeping it for at least 10 years. I don't care if it's new or used, just commit to keeping it. This single decision will save you tens of thousands of dollars because you'll avoid the upgrade cycle. You'll avoid the depreciation trap. And in years 6 through 10, when you have no car payment, you can take that $650 a month and invest it. Over 5 years, investing $650 a month at 10% returns gives you about $50,300. That's wealth building. That's progress. Step 4, never buy based on payment. When you're shopping for a car, negotiate based on the total price, not the monthly payment. If a salesperson asks, what payment are you comfortable with? Say, I don't care about the payment. What's your best out-the-door price? Focus on the total cost, because that's what actually matters. Step 5, invest the difference. This is the most powerful step. If you buy an $18,000 used car instead of a $48,000 new car, you've saved $30,000. Don't just let that money sit in your checking account. Don't use it to upgrade your lifestyle. Take that $30,000 and invest it. Index funds, retirement account, whatever makes sense for your situation. Because that $30,000 invested at 10% for 30 years becomes $523,000. That's the real cost of buying new versus used. Not just $30,000, but $523,000 in future wealth. Look, here's the truth that nobody wants to hear. The car you drive says almost nothing about your actual wealth. Some of the poorest people I know drive $70,000 trucks. Some of the wealthiest people I know drive 12-year-old Hondas. Because wealthy people understand that the goal isn't to look rich, the goal is to be rich. And being rich means having money in assets that grow. Stocks, real estate, businesses, not in depreciating hunks of metal sitting in your driveway. I know this might sound harsh. I know American car culture makes this message hard to hear, but I care more about your financial success than I care about being popular. And the data is crystal clear. If you want to build wealth, you need to minimize your car expenses. That doesn't mean driving a 1995 Corolla with 300,000 miles, although honestly, if it runs, that would be the most financially optimal choice. It just means being intentional, being aware, making decisions based on math, not on emotion or status. So here's my challenge to you. Before you buy your next car, I want you to watch this video again. Take notes, run the numbers for your specific situation, and ask yourself, is this car going to bring you closer to your financial goals or further away? Because every dollar you spend on a car is a dollar that's not growing in your investment accounts. Every dollar you lose to depreciation is a dollar you'll never get back. And over a lifetime, these decisions add up to the difference between financial freedom and financial stress. You deserve better than the upgrade treadmill. You deserve to build real wealth. And it starts with understanding that cars are not investments. They're not assets. They're expensive tools that lose value. Treat them that way. If this video helps you see a car buying in a new light, hit that subscribe button. I make videos like this every week to help you build wealth, avoid financial traps, and make smarter money decisions. Drop a comment below and tell me what's the longest you've ever kept a car and what made you finally upgrade. I read every comment and I genuinely want to know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.